Hello, good afternoon. I was using my little fake Dremel tool, one of those Harbor Freight 12 volts. I've got it over here. This thing. It's pretty. I mean, it's fairly high speed, but super low torque. I mean, very, very low torque. And I like it that way because I only use that as stuff that's real precision when I'm sitting here at the desk. And I was going to use it to cut something off, and I realized I didn't really have many fiber discs, but I did have some of these little dudes, and I almost will not use them. In fact, I got a whole bunch of them because this kit came with this whole mess of these because they're super cheap to make, and like I said, I won't use them. And it occurred to me that most people probably don't know why I won't use these in any sort of a shop setting. They may be fine for building hobbies and the occasional cut on something. They're super, super hard. They'll cut through all kinds of stuff, provided they don't start hopping or something. But the issue that you get is when you set the machine down. Let me try and get a better visual. Okay, so I've set my my Harbor Freight Special down here, and just, you know, there it is. Doesn't weigh much. It sets down, you know, whatever I'm done with it, I'm just going to set it here. And it hits the keyboard. It hits, there's a little dent in this wood where the humidity has caused it to rise, that kind of thing. And the thing about these is, it's got that little bitty hole for the arbor in it. No big deal. And we screw it down because it'll go down pretty good. And then, you know, we use it, and it seems fine, and then we set it down, and it just, that didn't, I mean, that was just one hand. It was just, what happens if one of these is ready to crack and you spin it at, say, 16,000 RPMs? I wear safety glasses a fair amount, probably not quite as much as I should, but a lot, because I've had 5 or 6 pieces of metal taken out of my eye. And the great thing about getting metal out of your eye is that metal comes out with a magnet. Or in some cases, because metal's sharp, like little metal shavings and stuff, kind of jagged, it comes out with like a Q-tip style thing and a low-speed drill where they run it by it and it just kicks it out. Hot stone pieces traveling at 16,000 RPMs, which is a crap ton of force as far as speed goes, they don't come out with a magnet. I've pulled pieces of these out of my arms, and I've pulled pieces, and I'm sure somebody's like, oh, he's overusing these, man. That's not what they're supposed to do. No, these things are stinking dangerous. I don't know how they still sell them. This is one of the most dangerous tools in my shop. Like, I will not use them. I will sit here and break all of them, because there's 2 that I can break by hand. I'm just using 3 fingers for this, guys. There's 3. I bet you if I get like 8 or 10 of these together, I won't be able to break them with my hands. I don't care how many of this is here. There. I broke that with 3 fingers. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those with one hand. If I take them and just now, the thing about Dremel tools and stuff is I was given one of these when I was like 10. Like an actual Dremel tool that eventually I burned up. I just grabbed all these in my hand, and you can hear them. Now, if you get a fiber reinforced cutting wheel and you break it, you crack it, it doesn't fall off, doesn't fly off. You'll notice something's wrong, but they don't fly off. They don't come at your eyes, at your face, at your whatever. I broke these with one hand. I'm a mechanic, and my hands may or may not be stronger than some other people's. This is not a brag of that. This is to say that my 6-year-old could very easily grab something like this at someone's house and push that one little rocker switch, or on a Dremel, it's got a little blue thing up here and maybe a speed adjustment. And if my son can do it, everybody else's can, because while my son spends time out in the shop, I would rather him spend time playing and learning and growing and drawing and thinking of things that make him happy. He comes out here and works during the summer, but it's because he wants money for something. He wants to buy an action figure or something, and he comes out and he'll sweep and say hi. It's when the weather's nice. When the weather's nice, my son comes out. He has some basic knowledge of don't touch the firearms unless daddy's there. Do not. Don't touch the tools unless they're his tools. He has his own tools. He has his own little toolbox. It's just a little plastic carry-on. I'm not trying to create a child that only knows how to do this stuff, but I am trying to create a child that's surrounded by things that are relatively safe for him. And these hardened little stone wheels, I guarantee if you got a mess of these, drop one on the tile floor or something. Better yet, put it on your machine and just kind of let the weight of it just kind of bump something. I'm not saying, I'm just like, that would break. It's just a PSA. Probably the most dangerous thing in the shop. Don't use them. Throw them away. I'm going to throw these away because they're broke. But those are dangerous. The other thing that I am going to mention here, these little stone things. You can see I had one of them out. I was trying to do a demonstration to somebody, especially the small diameter ones. These things get hot real fast. If you are going to use them, be gentle. They will eventually explode. They don't like aluminum very much because they, like all grinding wheels, they fill with aluminum. But when they get hot, they're just chemically bonded. So when they get hot, that stone, if you get it warm or too hot, which is easy to do at 10 to 40,000 RPMs. In fact, this has never had anything installed on it. This is the one that came with the fake Dremel here. The stones will actually delaminate, sort of. The glue will give way, and they'll slide off and just sling out anywhere. And I know what you're saying. What are we going to use then? Use a fiber wheel for cutting. Use these drums that go on a little rubber dude, which is over here somewhere. Tighten them up. Be careful about, it's just basic Dremel style safety. Be careful about cheap wire wheels like this, or wire brushes, because as they go fast and you push them down, they kind of flare out. And I'm not saying don't use them, I'm saying probably don't use them with your kids around, because I've picked several pieces, like you put on a long sleeve shirt, and like, oh, what is that? And I'll have like a piece stuck like a 45 or 90 degree angle, I'm just stuck in the skin, and I won't know it's there because they're super sharp, and they just ting in, and I don't feel it until later. Oh, hey, sassy. Here's the little rubber drum thing. These are great. These are fantastic. They'll wear out as long as you keep that screw snug. You don't have to worry about anything flying off or coming apart, or you're just not going to be happy. Unless you're part of just right. No. Anyways, that's my soapbox for the day, guys. I don't mean to be negative. I found some really fantastic products over the years, and as I get better with the names of these videos and I get more subscribers and stuff, I'll start trying to do some work with them. I do like this little grinder. It's not perfect. I don't ask it to be perfect. It's a real low torque. That's what I wanted. You can shut it off. You can grab it with your hand and just shut it off. You grab it by the collet and shut it off. But as far as basic Dremel safety, that and those stupid drill bit things. Okay, so not this. This is a little cutting burr, steel. These are pretty good. They'll grab real hard, but if you need to cut something out a little more, they're pretty good. Nice and easy, nice and slow. A lot of small passes makes one big pass. It's way more controlled. There's some more little diamond coated burrs that came with the kit. They're not too bad because they're physically attached to that. They can't they're kind of welded on. And the other thing, drill bits vibrate real bad with any side loading, and it's hard to keep the drill perfect, so you have a little bit. And then they sell these things that are meant for drywall, but people use them. I've seen people try and cut 2x4s and stuff with them. They look like a drill bit. They got a little smooth patch on the very end, and you're supposed to drill down into whatever it is or run up next to it and use it kind of like an end mill and just cut whatever you need. And they work really good for like they sell a little bit bigger ones that work on a rotozip, where you got that big firm handle and you got wrenches to torque everything down. They vibrate loose like a son of a gun in a Dremel. And Sassy, honey, you gotta give me a minute. They vibrate loose, and I've seen them things fly out at speed, man. So I don't recommend those at all. They're cool in the right situation. I'm sure they're just fine. Again, anything you use for the most part in the right situation, knowing what you're doing, is great. And the only other thing I'm going to mention here, aside from those, Sassy, honey, shh. There's different collets that go with many of these machines. You see the holes are different size. There's a mid-sized one that is actually chucked up in here right now. If you use the wrong collet, one if it's too small, the shaft of the tool won't fit in it, and if it's too big, it fits in it. And when you fire it up, if you don't make sure that that's in there tight, like you get done tightening this collet, just kind of pull a little bit and see if it's going to come out. So it just flops out in your hand. God, this conversation sounds weird all of a sudden. If it just flops out in your hand, it's not safe to turn it on. If you can just real easily and then run it for a minute, maybe you can touch it on something, and then double check the torque, because the vibrations in this, if there was any grit or anything down in there, a lot of times that will break loose, and you might find you've had a false torque reading, much like dirt or something down in a hole in a block or something. So anyways, that's it. Nothing fancy, just basic Dremel safety. So hopefully, if this saves one person a visit to the doctor for their eyes or something, and you know, wear safety goggles, safety third, whatever you're gonna do there, that's on you. You know that. It's all over the packaging and everything. But hey, subscribe to this channel if you got any more tools that you want me to show you how they can kill you or hurt you, all the way down to, you know, little brass hammers. Let me know. There's a good chance I've got it. I seem to unfortunately collect things that hurt me, but there's some basic Dremel bit safety right there. So, subscribe to this channel, and hopefully we don't talk about too much safety stuff unless you want to. Thank you.